Alright, what's up, Dragon Brood? We're in Lorwyn, so you know it was only a matter of time till we played a Changeling deck. And we had played one earlier last season that tried to take advantage of the Thrumming Hivepool. So we're going to do it again with a few new Changelings, even though we didn't get a lot of really good ones. And to be honest, I was hoping we'd get some good 1 and 2s, but we'll have to make do with what we have. So we have 3 Torch the Tower, so we can actually have some early removal. Just a couple of Strategic Betrayal, because I wanted something to do with the graveyard decks. A couple of Abrades to help with removal, and again, some artifact stuff here and there that's been popping up. We do have some Leyline Weaver that will help us cast those later cards, like the Thrumming Hivepool. We have some Feisty Spikeling, which is a 2-mana 2/1, just helpful, really, nothing too crazy. A 3-tree Mascot does let us filter some mana to make casting stuff a little bit easier. Some Taurian Mauler, which is actually just a solidly good card, so no complaints there. We are going to play Prideful Feastling, another new Changeling here that does give us some lifelink in the deck that we didn't really possess before. We have Scion of the Earth Spider. Since all of our Changelings happen to be spiders, as does the Leyline Weaver, this kind of makes sense to play here. We do have one Chronicle of Victory as a fun of, because I just want to see if we draw it and see what happens. And then we have Thrumming Hivepool, the thing we're trying to get down early, because it's affinity for Slivers. All of our Changelings also happen to be Slivers, so that makes it cheaper for us to cast. And then, of course, we start making double striking Slivers after that. We do have some Virtue of Persistence, a little bit more life gain and removal, as well as a way to possibly get back like our Scion of the Earth Spider or something later. And then we have Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber, because all of our Changelings also happen to be demons. So that should work for us to get a bunch of cards and drain our opponent's life total as well if it goes down that way. Before we get to the games, though, we got to do some business. Be sure to go over to buy your Magic cards at Tales of Adventure. It's toamagic.com. You can use my code DRAGON. It's DRAGN. It'll get you 5% off literally on everything you buy on the site. So if you want to save money in your Magic, go there, use my code. But all right, business out of the way. Let's go see if these Changelings and maybe Slivers can get us some wins. Oh boy, this is... I'm going to keep it just because we have so many other red lands that we probably are okay. And I can Virtue of Persistence next turn if nothing else. Okay, well, neither of us did anything for a couple turns. This is probably where it gets bad. Clifftop Lookout, sure. Wow. Yeah, I guess we just go here because it's not worth wasting a removal on the lookout. Okay, they're just starting town. That will be tapped, unfortunately. Case of the Locked Hothouse. That is not a card we see very often. That's for 7 lands? Yeah, and they're at 4. Alright, well this is going to come into play tapped regardless. I say now we go ahead and do this. I mean, it's still damage to the opponent if nothing else. Ah, they have black mana. Well, I guess I would have done stuff slightly differently, had we known. And they are at 5 mana. Another thing to note. Oh, interesting. They opted to get rid of that instead. Oh, because you have that. Well, yeah. I was going to say, you didn't use your dragon to get rid of our room. But that makes a lot of sense. Alright, so where do we want to go from here? This is going to be tapped yet again. Opponent was afraid of the last one. I think we just play this. And just see what's up. If it lives, then we get to play a Hivepool. Okay, now we're going to be in some trouble. There's a torch. I guess we just do what we can do, you know? Hope they don't have another dragon that can get rid of it. They did, though. That's unfortunate. It's one of those cases where if they have it, they have it. Not a lot you're going to do about it. Yeah, no blocks. Okay. I mean, we could get rid of a green shell. God. What are we supposed to do here? I guess get rid of green shell? Because that seems to be the biggest problem. One of those things where like, I don't love it, but it's probably the right thing to do. Actually, yeah, let's just go and do this. And then pass. All right, Fenrir, they're going to be at 6 lands. And then that just lets you play stuff off the top, right? Look at the top card of your library. Anytime you can play lands and cast creatures and enchantments. All right, good to know. Sure. Gonna go ahead and take a point. Let's get rid of this guy. I mean, the good news is if I get to 7 lands, I could try to get their green shell and do some stuff. So that's a thing. If I do this, that'll leave me 4 mana, and then I'll still be able to play the Thrumming Hivepool. Yeah, I'm kind of into that. All right, let's attack, see what happens. Nothing. I like the sound of that. All right, let's see if this goes off. Do you have another Stormbrew? That's going to be rough. I mean, they might be playing 8 copies of ways to get rid of artifacts and enchantments for all I know. All right, there's like also lookouts have reach, which is brutal against our Scions, so that's kind of funny. It's like they have just the right cards against us, which makes us sad. Let's go ahead and play this, because it will also have first strike or double strike and haste. I think we just attack here. Probably just making sure nothing crazy happens here. All right. Kind of surprised we're in this, considering how many of our cards the opponent got rid of early. That just made our life bad. Now, there is a fun bit here, that if the opponent does play a lot of spells off the top of their library, we get a big mauler that can then, unless they find more cliff tops, can come over the top. Oh, well, that guy has reach too. Gosh dang it. All right, let's see how many things they get to play. We might be okay. We'll see. I mean, now they have 2 things with reach. All right, they had a lot of land there. All right, I think we're good to go, right? Oh, no, we can't even play this yet. We still need another color, actually. Yeah, all right, cool. Fortunately, didn't matter. Opponent couldn't block. I mean, once they could block across the board, but these getting through were going to deal 4 damage, so we got there anyway. Opponent's deck almost seemed like the anti-build for our deck, so I feel like we got a pretty good game there. Ooh, we drew the Chronicles, but I don't know how good they're going to be. But we're going to try to find out. If this deck is Lessons, do we think our deck could beat Lessons? Actually, if we could sneak this through on a future turn, we might be able to pull something off here. Yeah, you see somebody playing 3-tree mascot, you know something's up. Right? Like that. Oh, what is this? Oh, random. Otters and frogs? And they didn't even want to attack us there. Crazy. All right. Well, I'm going to call Spider with this. And I'm just going to pass. I don't know what's happening right now. I was about to expect this was going to be some type of Lessons deck. And instead, we saw a Bellowing Crier here. So this might be about, I was going to say, wanting to draw and discard, put stuff in your graveyard type situation. Okay. I think we go ahead and just play this. And I guess we're willing to get in there, huh? That's a lot of damage. All right, opponent's at 10. I mean, getting to play high pull on 4 is still very good. We are not mad at that at all. Don't hate seeing that. put more counters on our Mauler. Which slowly makes Mauler harder and harder for them to kill, right? Because they have to get to a situation where they can use the one lesson that cares about other lessons in the graveyard. So once this gets like 6 or 7, now they're going to have more trouble. They have 2 lessons in right now. So they wouldn't be able to destroy this because they would deal 4, but would also get a +1. So every spell on the Mauler makes it harder for lessons to get rid of it. Yep, it's going to get even bigger here. Also, if we draw a Scion of the Earth Spider, we would be able to get in there for lethal here. We did not. However, that also gets the job done. So love to see that. Put this on Spider. Go ahead and cast this guy. Didn't get to play our Chronicles, though, unfortunately. Off that, and then we get in there with all of our double strikers. Awesome. Okay, let's keep it. Such a quirky deck, man. It's like a deck full of bad cards with something like 8 reasonable cards. It's sort of what it feels like. More than 8, probably like 12. But let's put this on Spider and trying to figure out what's more important that we could risk giving up here. Let's give you up. Oh, okay. I thought they might have had Recoding Hex or everything. Requiting Hex, if you don't say it, people want to jump in the comics. But Requiting Hex or whatever, I thought might have been the play there. But it was not, so good stuff. I'm going to put this on Spider and let's roll this bad boy out. Also, Shoot the Sheriff, awful against this deck. So many things count as all of the things they're concerned about. So that's great for us. What to do here? I think we just go Spider. And we play this. And this. And say go. Hey, that's a good one for you. You can take my Unholy Annex, because that's what I would take. I almost played it last turn, but I couldn't bring myself to commit to it. And Cecil, so we're going heavy on the Death Touchers, is what the plan is here. Sure. Yeah, you can have this guy, that's fine. Oh, well that's a cute decision. Alright. You know what? I think I'm just going to attack here and risk it. And just say, if you have the 2/4 demon, you win. I'm just not going to bother playing around it. Like, if you have it, we take the L. Sometimes it's just like that. I don't feel like we have a much better outcome. Okay, they didn't have it, so we got a little lucky there. What's their next play? Because it's possible... Well, now if they get rid of our 3... Okay, they're not. So it's possible if we just draw the Hivepool... Well, we didn't. All right. So none of that mattered. Like I said, if we got a Hivepool, things change. You know, whatever. But such is life. We attacked them down to 6. Is that worth it? I guess so. And then we would take 2, go to 6, go to 3 if we played this. Then they're not attacking with the Deep Cavern Bats. All right. I mean, I think it makes more sense to play the Prideful Feastling here, but I don't know what's in their hand, or kind of the way this has progressed has been a little weird. And I feel like if they use removal here on the Leyline Weaver, that's still fine. And if the opponent's forced to block next turn, then we can just attack with Taurian Mauler, get our room back, and then just play the room. Gain some life, drain the opponent's life total. So, I mean, really depends on what their hand looks like here. If they even want to attack. And then if they do have the demon or druid, then what? right? We have to block the Unstoppable Slasher, and that changes everything. Okay, Elegy Acolyte's not nearly as bad. Okay. So if we let that through, they lose a life and go to 5 and take card, but they can currently block with the Elegy Acolyte. I'm going to risk just taking it. Felt like there was more cards we could possibly get out of trouble with here, but that is not one of them. All right, well, we have to attack with this because it forces them to block. Which means they're probably blocking with Elegy Acolyte, because then they get to go to 9, I would think. That would make sense. Yeah. Like, I couldn't imagine they were going to block any other way there. Let's go ahead and just play this. And in the turn, because I want to leave the Leyline Weaver untapped. Ritual Chamber. Sure. So we're going to get them a 6/6 Demon. Sounds like a plan. We can get less than a demon. I mean, we attack with our 8/8, right? They block, that goes away. Then what are we doing after that, right? It's probably not the greatest thing. And then pass. See what we find. Not great. Man, we have a bunch of good cards we could draw here. This is none of them. All right. Opponent is at 9. Sure. All right. They got us. They had the removal anyway. The one thing they can kill was shoot the sheriff. Okay. What can we do with this? Not much, actually. Let's mulligan that. This is a little more active. I don't hate this. Let's keep it. And go with this. Alright, let's make a spider that happens to look like a changeling. Ooh, that's nifty. Try to attack. Seems good. They won't be countering any of our spiders, so this is safe. Too bad this doesn't have changeling on it, because they can counter this. But looks like we're not going to be around for that to happen. If I were guessing, this was some type of deck that played a lot of counter spells, and us having early Cavernous Souls meant they weren't going to be able to do a whole lot. Ooh. Can't really cast the Weaver here, though. Oh, I can, because these are counter spiders. Yeah, alright, we'll try it. Seems reasonable. Worst case scenario, the Weaver doesn't survive. And then we just go ahead and play an Unholy Annex and see what happens. So far, nothing happens. Do we attack into like a fairy? Nope, that didn't happen either. Alright. No clue what's going on. No counters? Wow. There's nothing. That was a very peculiar turn. Almost every potential thing I thought could have happened didn't happen. So it was very weird. You know, I'm kind of willing to just keep saying, let's lose more life here. Like, let's see what you want to do, opponent. There's a spider. That is not a demon. Where's all my changelings at? Where's my changelings at? Oh, well, that thing's... Oh, it's not indestructible. For some reason in my head, I was about to say that it was. It definitely is not. Well, let's... Oh, these don't make red yet. Oh, that's a problem. Really, I should probably just be making a demon here, actually. That would have been smarter. Oh, this is what we're doing? Oh my gosh, such a boring deck. Such a boring deck. Who plays that stuff? Alright. Pass a turn. Discard that. And then they're going to mill us. Alright, well, their removal spell is good here. You only need one. Oh, they didn't have it. What? Well, that's a surprise. Huh. Very awkward. Okay. Did I seriously only draw one creature this whole game? Two. Oh, because there was the Leyline Weavers. Wow, that's crazy. Assuming you're going to mill us again? You got it. Maybe we'll actually get to where we can draw something to start killing our opponent. Nope, we're not. This is the craziest thing. This almost feels unbelievable at this point. But, alright. I mean, it's 6 life. Cool, you got it. Only 4 life, I guess. There's one! Finally! Jeez, where were you hiding at? Opponent's going to sweep the board again to get rid of our demons. I mean, you're welcome to, opponent. Alright, well, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 12 cards left. I was just thinking I could try to do this. 2, 4, 6, leave 2 mana up, play a land, do this. Maybe. I think we just attack. See what they do here. Alright. I will run one of these out. Actually, we don't need to draw any cards, though, is the problem. Yeah, let's just play this. Put that on Spider. Not that it matters. Our big Spider's gone now. Alright. Opponent goes to 2. Demolition Field. You got it. Even if I can find something, I'll probably just fail to find. Leave the extra card in the library since their plan is to mill us. Alright. I mean, this is kind of it, right? Get rid of that. It's unnecessary. You got it or not? We have 10 cards left. Wow. Ain't gonna lie, feels real good beating these decks. Because these are no hate to you, Searchlight. You're welcome to play whatever you want to play. Some people love playing these types of decks. But these are boring. Like, these are bad even for content. So I'm glad that game didn't take very long. It was going to be over one way or the other because of the Unholy Annexes. But yeah, this was a solid win, surprisingly. Because, man, we didn't get really a creature to stick until whatever that was, like turn 6 or 7. So, yeah, we'll take it, though. I would love to have a Torch the Tower here. Duress? I was hoping maybe they'd duress us when we didn't have anything. Alright, let's figure out a plan here. What does this look like? You're obviously trying to put stuff in your graveyard. And you probably need us to play things you can target. So we're just going to go Weaver into Mauler and then hope something sticks. I don't know what that's going to look like, but... Oh, maybe it's not. This might just be weird goblins. Huh. Alright, well, let's find out. Alright, Bastronaut, I see you. And a Firebrand, yeah. So you're only attacking with one goblin here, I'm assuming? Yep. Not mad at it. Could have attacked with the token, though, to see if I would commit to blocking and then use the Firebrand. That could have been a real option. And they would have triggered their Stalker, actually. Would have been interesting. I don't know if it changes much, but it's a thought. Let's go Spider. And we could... I think we just go 2 bodies here. And then see what we can do next turn as far as keeping a Changeling and gaining some life. Like, I don't know. Alright. Better that happened on our turn than their turn. Because they don't get the credit for a thing going to their yard. So that's good. Yep, those get in there. I'm surprised we're still at so much life, if we're being real. The way this started and the way our hand was, with no removal, I just assumed this would take way longer. Or way faster. No, it wouldn't take as long. Yeah, let's make us an 8/8. Or 6/6. I don't know why I said 8/8. I was thinking 8 total damage, potentially, if we want to go ahead and unlock a room, and I'm going to do that. And it's a good chance they have spot removal for our demon here. Okay, they don't. However, that's going to be a lot of extra mana for them at some point in the future. Alright. Alright, deck. This is where we need you to come through. Okay, that wasn't a disaster, though. Still not any removal that we need. We have a Strategic Betrayal that doesn't do anything here. So, we have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana technically. So we could have 5 and then 4. We could unlock a room. We could have a lifelinker on the ground. Alright, well, let's at least do this while we're thinking. Trying to figure some things out here. We unlock a room. Actually, I think I want to do this first. And I'm not even going to attack here. Let's see what they do with all this mana. Because we are at 17. They could play a bunch of stuff here that, you know, when a goblin dies, we get pinged for an extra point, whatever. Okay, there's Kranko. Which doesn't... Oh, he does have haste. There could be a bunch of dudes here. And then this gives all the other guys haste. So the question is, if we somehow survive this, can we kill them next turn? I don't think there's a way. But maybe. There's a lot of damage coming here. We might only... Let's see, 13, 14, 15... Oh, that's double striking, though. Yeah, that's the bigger issue. I think we're done. But we'll see. I mean, these still deal damage, so we might as well just block them anyway, right? There's no reason to not block them. Okay. So the question then becomes... Let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, and we only gained 2? Yeah, we're just dead. We were too slow that time. We didn't get any removal spells, really, that mattered. What are we doing with this? Having in with 0 removal in this setup does not feel great. There we go. That helps. I wish there was like, I don't know, like a changeling that had affinity for changelings or something. Like I just need something that's just a little bit better than what we have. Voice of Victory. Well, okay, we have to remove that, right? Feels like that's not really an option. No. Interesting. All right, let's try this. Oh, here comes their removal now. What's it going to be, team? Lightning Helix? No, a Scorching Dragonfire. That would not have been on my list of stuff. I hadn't seen one of those in a while. Very interesting. I think we go for another one here. Actually, if you're playing Scorching Dragon... Yeah, this still deals 3. Never mind. Got another one? I mean, they had to have kept a hand with more removal. Otherwise, that's weird. Really? You only had 2 playable cards and kept it. Interesting. Well, things being what they are, I say we go here and here, and maybe we get an untapped land next turn. All right, Torian Mauler, bigger now. Oh, we're going to try to target the Mauler. I don't think they realize. A lot of times you see opponents do this, not realizing that you have to hit it for 3 at a minimum. If you hit it for 2, it doesn't work. So, like, the Torch the Tower doesn't do anything. Okay. And obviously, Shoot the Sheriff is bad against our whole board right now. Though, you can still use Sheltered by Ghosts, and that would work perfectly fine. Also, though, if we got the Hivestone or whatever, that would be cool. Not the Hivestone, but the Sliver enchantment. That would be great. So we get access to 2 cards, which was a Legend of Roku and a Blood Crypt. All right, that could have been way worse. Oh, an opponent does not have anything here. That is good for us. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Slick Shot. Boom. Avatar's Wrath. Sure. I'm going to go here. And call Spider, I guess. Alright, Legend Roku. Get them extra cards. You didn't play a land yet. But you probably aren't going to play the other Legend of Roku. Actually, those aren't legendary on the front side, so maybe they do. Alright, that's not bad. Not a bad situation, actually. So we have 2, 4, 6 mana. I guess we just roll all these duders back out, huh? Oh, this does result in a lot of cards, though. That is a thing. Opponent's only at 10, huh? Sure. Well, that's fun. Alright, well, your time to do something, opponent. Fun part here is if they do something, they probably lose access to the cards they would have gotten from the Legend of Roku. We're going to be looking at another, whatever, Avatar's Wrath or whatever that thing is. Or does that thing exile itself? I guess it does. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Alright, so they're just playing Voice of Victory. Not to say they don't have an Avatar's Wrath, because that would still make sense here. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Alright, so we're going to be back to this again. So we're going to go with this. Oh, actually, I can't play those next turn. I have to wait, right? Yeah. Fair enough. I think in that case, we just play another Mauler. We did get a land. Not that the land's super necessary here. Alright. So now next turn gets really interesting because we can just play creature, 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 and then drop Hivepool. 2, 4, 6. And we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe. Might have to find a land. We'll see, though. Also, our creatures already are First Strike, Trample. I'm not even sure what the opponent's deck does, actually. Like, this is just... honestly, this might be, hey, these are most of the rares I had. I just fleshed out the difference and made this, like, Boros mid-rangey thing. Which, you know, they're still holding their own, even if that is the case. Oh, they're like, enough of this. Was that just destroy an artifact? Yeah, sure. That's fine. Makes total sense. Now we're going to try to get rid of the Mauler. Oh, we're going to shelter Bagos. Yeah, sure. Now, they do gain more life here. But I don't think they're aware of our secret plan of Hivepool shenaniganery here. We also could just play another Unholy Annex, which is a real option. So let's go here. We don't get the extra cards, which would have been nice if this was a land. I think that would have made a difference here. They're going to get rid of our Mauler. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Alright, well, that slows down what we would want to do otherwise. So I think we go ahead and just do this then. Drain them for 2, get a card. Okay, that helps too. Well, no, we can't even cast that. Well, we can after we play the 3-tree mascot, actually. We can just filter mana through it. Alright, yeah, shelter away, buddy. You got it. We got other plans on our mind they don't know about yet. But they will get to make another dragon. And that is a real thing. Yep. So they will still have a blocker here. I assume we just block here. Alright, they go to 10. We're at 16. Actually, oh, they go more because they do have the life gain from the Legend of Roku. Oh, this gets interesting. What can we get rid of with this? Okay, well, no matter what, we play this, right? Actually, if we're going to play that, let's play it with this and this. So we can at least think about what we want to do with the Scion. So I'm just debating if we want to go here and then get in with our, like, double striker duders. If that's even a thing we want to attempt. Also, double strike on defense does matter. Let's not undersell that as an aspect either. Make a dragon. You could pump the dragons twice. We'd be at 18. We could block. We could also play a Leyline Weaver. I could also sacrifice this and torch this guy. Like, that's an option as well. Which just gets us back a dude. Doesn't do a lot. Alright, I guess we do this and just see what happens. Also, could have made a demon there, too. I mean, that's the other option that was on the table. Which, making the demon might have been correct if this is the bulk of their removal, right? Because then the removal doesn't do much. So it might have been what we should have done, realistically. But then they might also just attack with their 4/4 demon here. Looks like they don't have anything else but probably a land in hand. Or dragon, not demon. But yeah, if so, that's mostly fine. They get to make another dragon, pump a dragon. That's... is what it is. All right, make some more duders. All right, if we spend 5 on a demon, we have 2 mana left. Let's go ahead and do this. Make a demon. No attacks. Okay, that's actually pretty sweet here. Now it's just, can we survive the turn? Because they will have a lot of mana to be able to pump their dragons and that whole mess. Avatar's Wrath. Alright, sure, man. You got it, I guess. Ketramos. Jeez, what is this? Alright, I mean, hey, if it works, it works. Who am I to judge? I'll take my damage. I feel, though, like, you know what this feels like? And this isn't to insult the opponent, but this feels like those games you play of Commander where the person you're playing doesn't even really have a way to win. They're just playing to not lose. Because that's what this feels like. I don't really feel like I'm in danger at the moment, if that makes sense. And that feels a little weird. And then I guess... I mean, there's not really a point to do anything else here. Yeah, we'll just... I mean, yeah, we'll just drain the opponent, I guess. No attacks. Alright. Discard this. I mean, we'll just have 4 rooms out there and just get them for 8 a turn, if nothing else is happening. You got it. You have a dragon. I mean, I would at least attack with Ketramos. Get your 4 life. That's bad for the opponent. I don't think they know it, though. Because now we can just play this guy. You can block 5, and then you'll take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 twice. All right. I don't know. Yeah, we know we can see their hands. So we're playing with perfect information here. And then we can torch and abrade a dragon. And then... Oh, wait, no. The little guys don't get to come in. They're still on the ground. Oopsie. All right. Well, either way, opponent's still dead, though. That's double striking plus some. So it doesn't really matter. All right. Yeah, that was a bit of a strange game. Like I said, even with the opponent having all this removal for all of our creatures, like, look what we literally fought through. It was Scorching Dragonfire thing, Blaze a thing, which they got a card from, destroyed our enchantment the first time, killed another thing, sheltered something, another thing is still sheltered in play. They played 3 Avatar's Wraths, a Legend of Roku, which one of them still stayed out there and did its thing, like, and a Ketramos, apparently. And somehow we still got there. Like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, so what's my overall assessment on this deck? Be honest with you, I don't know. I had a couple of games where I got some weird draws and I didn't get removal against the creature decks, which if we actually get even one removal spell, say like against the goblins, then that's a winnable game, right? And we didn't get there. So I don't know when you figure those in what that's like, but hey, it's RNG, right? That's part of playing a card game. Sometimes you don't get what you need. So yeah, I'm not, I mean, it's playable. I mean, here's the problem with Changeling, and this is what we were concerned about if we didn't get quality 1 and 2 mana Changelings, is that you're kind of playing subpar creatures, right? Don't get me wrong. Like, we know Leyline Weaver's good, right? It lets us get our rooms faster. It lets us play Scion a little bit faster. Like, that stuff's good. But then we're kind of stuck playing Feisty Spikeling and 3-Tree Mascot at our 2s, which are just 2/1s, right? They don't block well. Like, even if they were 1/2s or 2/2s, that'd feel a little bit better. And there are some 2/2s you can play, but if you look at actually everything that's a Changeling, oh, I guess Shapeshifter actually is the thing. But anything that says Changeling, And narrowing it down realistically to black and red, because that's what we would be casting most often with our lands. You don't even have that many choices. You got a 4/2 with trample, which is like, okay. You know, like, it's acceptable. It's bigger than our other creatures. So there's that. And this guy, which has flash, so that's kind of nice. So you could set up something in your opponent's instep and maybe do something. Other than that, you have this guy that if it lets you remove cards from your opponent's graveyard or put them back on the bottom, that would be cool, but it has to be from your graveyard, so it's less exciting. There's this thing, when it enters, you can search for a basic land. Like, we're not even playing that many basics to take advantage of it, and it's a 1/2 for 3, so that's not very exciting. You have this guy, which is flying, awesome. And you get to exile 2 things from graveyards and gain 3 life, awesome, but it's 5 mana. I don't know if that's really what we want to be doing. And then the rest just isn't that exciting. Like, we could turn this into a 4/4 till end of turn, but not great. So I think that's the biggest issue with the Changelings. Now, you could take this another direction, that maybe you want it to be elves plus Changelings in the Hivepool or something, right? There's probably another way to go. This isn't particularly bad. This is totally playable, but it is going to be susceptible to funky draws, basically. Like that last game we played, it went way longer than necessary because we had some subpar creatures sitting out there, right? If some of those would have been 4/4s or 5/5s and just doing something, we would have probably ended the game sooner. But it worked out, so a win's a win, right? But that's what I would say about this deck as a whole. Totally fine, totally playable. It can do some silly things if you get the right draws. However, you are going to have some turns where you just have some junky creatures on the board, and you're going to hope they survive so you can do the big thing. But you're kind of trying to high roll with this. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, link will be over on Moxfield if you want to give it a go for yourself. Otherwise, that's all I have you for now. We'll see you next time.